I think we're all feeling a little spicy on this Monday because I have a very fierce panel of hot topics for you this morning. Oh yes, you know when that music comes on. And joining me now is Ben Keenan and our executive producer, Joseph. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Happy Monday. Thank you for being here.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I feel like this is going to make our morning a little happier and more energetic.
Yes.
Please enjoy. We are having coffee. This is the trendy new Espresso Tonic. Will Seattle embrace this trend, do we think? Trader Joe's apparently has a new tonic espresso with orange that we're seeing right there. I don't know. I've never tried it. I've done an espresso martini. This is the first.
This is different than that.
Straight tonic.
Absolutely. It's feeling very citrusy.
Oh.
Like even without the orange.
It's that hint of espresso.
Oh.
To me, it's giving like coffee Italian soda vibes, sort of.
Yes, a little bit.
It's weird with the bubbles. I don't know if I like that. I'm going to do one more
seems
sip.
Like maybe you don't.
It seems like it's a no for me.
Are you a sparkling or still water kind of person?
I like sparkling, like Liquid Death. They're like sparkling and like LaCroix and stuff, but I think the two together is just too much for me.
Oh, you're not liking it?
It's one of the, I can't figure out if I like it or not. I just keep going back and having another sip, and I'm like, do I like it? I guess the jury's still out.
Yeah, I guess it is. I am a big fan, which is maybe why we are having them right now. I was on a trip recently and I had one and I was like, I gotta bring this back to America. Obviously, Espresso Tonic is not actually new. It's just trendy again right now. But
I know. Where did you see this? Abroad?
When I was in Europe, yeah, and maybe it's a more European thing. But you know what? If you can buy espresso and tonic, it's real easy. It's just 2 ingredients. Yeah. So
I know, and I wonder with the orange if it would. I think that again would just be too much for me.
That
I mean, I think it'd make a nice cocktail though.
Yeah.
I think if you just add a little bit of something in here, any sort of like a liqueur that would like really amp it up.
Maybe like an Amaro would be nice.
Right.
Oh.
I don't know. Next level espresso martini.
Okay. Maybe after the show, you guys. Yeah. Next time. Also, probably how we need to celebrate too. The Mariners, you guys. All the excitement this weekend celebrating Ichiro. He was honored over the weekend at T-Mobile Park.
I'd love to see it.
It's just so amazing. It really takes me back. 51, you know, and his speech was adorable. He started with a quote from Ken Griffey Jr. that was precious. What did you guys think? Is this bringing it back for you guys in your childhood?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, growing up in the area, it's basically just seeing icons move throughout the city year after year after year, and it's fun to get to see Ichiro really be celebrated the way that he deserves to be celebrated.
Yes, I know. I don't love that one writer.
Who didn't vote for him?
Yes,
yeah.
But I'm loving Ichiro kind of throw a little spice. You see his humor.
Everyone's got a hater, and Ichiro's got his. So.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I just, remember growing up in Spokane, so still Northwest, watching him, and as a Japanese American, my family was all about that. My grandma loved him, so she would be so happy to see him being honored this weekend, just because representation matters, and he's obviously just, no matter what, an amazing baseball player.
He absolutely is. He's an icon and such a class act.
Another statue for him, I heard, maybe out front. I heard that there were rumors of that, so.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I hope they start naming just different streets around town. The Ichiro Street too.
Well, there might. I mean, we're on Edgar Martinez right here.
Yeah, I know. Make it happen, you guys. Ben, you recently were also at a Mariners game because you got to launch the parachuting hot dogs.
I am so curious about this.
I want to know, all about this. How did this come about?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was just curious how this actually works in the first place, right? People see these hot dogs from heaven falling every couple of games, and you're like, who's throwing them? Where are they coming from? Are they edible? Yes, all the answer is yes.
Are they hot?
They are hot. So I actually got to package some of the hot dogs as well. Basically, they come in the foil tube, like the paper bag. They come with the condiments already included. They bring them out and you stuff them into the parachutes. And so we brought them out in bags that keep the hot dogs warm, throw them off the 3rd-story balcony to the people down below.
Oh my gosh, I've never caught one at a game. Have you been close,
Oh, not even close. Yeah. Well, usually I'm in the 3rd, so it's not, but
Fair enough. I just go and get my value meal, and it's not a bad price for the hot dog.
There's so much good food too at T-Mobile Park, but I mean, if there was a free hot dog coming at me, I would absolutely take it.
That's all I want at a game. Yeah. I only want a hot dog, with all the fixings.
And we learned really quickly, it's hard to even aim them correctly because they just a hint of wind, and they just rush right off. And so we're throwing them to people down below who are like, pass it to me. I'm like, absolutely.
Trying.
Just throw it right down and it ends up over there.
I have a question. Did you know where you were going to be doing it, or is it random every time?
Random every time.
Okay. So there's no way to plan.
There were a bunch of other volunteers as well, and we were all up there, and they said, you go here, you go here, you go here, you go here. And so we just dispersed at the 7th inning.
That's what I was wondering is how did they contact you? Can like I write in and say like I would like to?
From what I understand is they do take volunteers.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Kelly, we have some connections. Maybe we can get that going for you.
You guys,
Yeah.
okay, you might see me at the next Mariners game handing out hot dogs.
I'll be like, Kelly.
And then my aim will not be good either.
No.
I actually interned with the Mariners way back when, and I really wanted to be the fry girl.
Right.
I don't know if anyone remembers like the free
Yep.
like fry giveaways, and I sadly did not get that job.
Well,
Instead, I was,
still time.
Yeah, still time. So again, if they're listening, I would like to bring that back and the trauma of not getting that. Okay, also some trauma for me. Instagram is rolling out a new feature that will share your live location. I think this is beyond creepy. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I mean, I had a hard time when Snapchat did this how many years ago. Just like, even though it was only your friends and the people you were friends with on Snapchat, the ability for somebody to see your exact location is always a little rough. And as somebody who does social media a lot, the ability for people to see my location at any point in time is a little rough. I don't think it's great.
Creepy.
Yeah, do you, like when you're posting stories too, do you feel like you need to like later post also like because you have such a big following? Like how do you manage
sometimes
that?
I will do that, especially if it's going to be a spot that I am at for a significant amount of time. If I'm going to dinner, I'll do it in the middle of a dinner because I'm already there. I'll post the nice meal. If I'm going to be at like an all-day event or like a farmer's market or something, I want to do it later so people don't see where I am in public and feel that they need to come and whatever.
Say hi.
Right. I love when people say hi.
Yeah.
Right,
but it's more about the
right.
people who like went out of their way to come to.
Yes.
Yeah.
You never know.
I know, it's really creepy. What do you think about this new
Well,
feature?
I know, like, Find My Friends. Like, I share my location with a couple of people, but it's like that's a very small group of people. But I'm more concerned for like the people who use Instagram and don't realize this feature is turned on, and then they're just like sharing their location with people and they don't know it, or even if you know, like, how does it exactly work? I'm not even sure. Like, is it showing locations of previous posts so people can see where you've been? All that stuff is just a little bit.
I think it was real time because I changed it on my like personal. I made sure as soon as I saw this, like, okay, nope, like,
Yeah, mine's off
not
too.
sharing
Yeah.
my location. Sorry. And then my friend, though, when I was posting on Local in Seattle, my YouTube series on Instagram, my friend contacted me and said, "Are you here right now?" She could see that I was at the Boeing Classic. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I am." And she's like, "Kelly, like your location is on. You forgot to change it on some other account." So definitely a reminder
Well, yeah,
to,
so if you're out
and
there-
shout out to Elizabeth for telling me that my location was on.
But just
I
like
appreciate
Google
it.
how to turn it off, because I've seen people sharing how to turn it off.
Yes, yes. For sure. One more thing I want to talk about, you guys, driving around Seattle. I feel like this summer, especially, it's been rough. I've gotten in a fender bender.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like now I just want to park my car in my neighborhood and just stay there. WatchDOT is sending out these really cute little maps
I love that they do
constantly. They're so funny.
They're fun.
Who's running their Instagram? I'm loving and their
graphics,
Twitter. Yeah.
They're great. The traffic has been horrible, but the only good thing to come out of it are these graphics, personally. I mean, I've come through so many struggles where what I thought would take me 15 minutes is taking me 45.
Oh, Lord.
Plans have been ruined.
I know.
The amount of gas I've wasted.
Same. And I-5, like, it's always closed or
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
down to 2 lanes.
Well, and it's not just cars. Like the light rail was busted last week. Of course, only my station was not working.
And
so
your
that,
friend was in
I know,
town,
like
right?
totally ruined my day. But whatever. I mean, not actually ruined, but it made it more difficult, you know. And it's already hard enough to get around here. So
It is. Traffic is definitely getting bad. People, I guess, with the sunny day are trying to
And
get
like
out
the
and
I-5
about.
construction, it's just woof.
And all the local construction. I mean,
Yeah,
they got to do
I got
something
you.
ahead of the World Cup.
Yeah. Oh,
Make
yeah.
sure the
Good
potholes are
point.
filled.
Good point.
man.
Oy, woof. Ben, you've gotten so much attention on social media for a lot of these singles events that you're hosting, which I love seeing around as a fellow single individual. Why did you start them?
So I was seeing a lot of videos on social media where people, you might have seen them too, where people were going around the streets and asking people, man on the street style in New York or LA or Miami, Austin, you know, where do the singles go? What neighborhoods are the single people hanging out in? And so I threw a video online. I said, do we even have this in Seattle?
Yeah.
Resoundingly no. Everyone was like, there's no location to go, there are no bars. If you're over 26, you're pretty much screwed. And they
That's
said,
what I'm saying.
They said, you've got a platform, just name a bar and we'll go. And I was like, there's no way. They did. They went.
There
They
is a way.
came.
They
Yeah.
came. How have the events been? And like, walk me through, like, is it just a place that you say like there's nothing like set in stone, no like icebreakers, just come as you are? Or explain.
Well, so with the lack of third places that a lot of people have noticed recently, right? There's no spot for people to go after work besides their apartments. I decided, why don't we just name a bar? It is so casual. There's no registration. There's no cover fee. There's no name tags. You could show up, and if no one piques your interest, you just happen to come to the bar on a Saturday night like any other person would. You don't have to drink if you're sober. If you choose not to drink, you don't have to do that either. You can have drinks if you want to.
Yeah.
It's a bar, right? It's a public spot. We're helping local businesses by getting in there and really like amping up the amount of people that are there when it's not a holiday.
Yeah, that's great.
It is so amazing. I mean, I feel like too, like you said, that once you get to a certain age when you're not in college or really just past then and you're not meeting people at work, how are you supposed to meet people? And we've talked about this with the Seattle Freeze with friends in your like
it is a little
later
frosty
years.
in Seattle at times, you know? So you gotta really put yourself out there.
Do you have like certain like events too that it's like 30 and like up, or is it just
people have asked for that, and the events are open to all ages. All ages. People. I've gotten a lot of messages of people saying, "I'm single, but my friends aren't. I don't want to come." Bring your friends. It's a bar. You know, have wing people come and join you. It's the idea of going out and really having a community to engage with, and hopefully you have a greater chance than normal of meeting somebody, bumping into somebody who's single, even if you're not interested. You can actually meet somebody in the wild like they used to do before the apps.
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like apps, it can be a lot. Like it can be really draining. So actually meeting someone out in person
IRL.
in real life,
Well, and so many of us are on our screens all day. The last thing you want to do is clock in for an additional shift on an app and just swipe for hours and put in the effort.
Any fun events that you can tell us about that are coming up before we move to our next topic?
It's really tough to get them done during the summer because Seattle has so many great events already.
True.
And so I'm hoping to ramp them back up come this fall.
Okay, well, definitely look for those. Who knows? Maybe I'll be there and you'll be my wingman.
I'm here for you, Kelly.
You both can. Okay. Next up, producer Susie was out shopping, you guys, at Bartell's, and she found this. Okay, I don't know what to say. Like, I've seen Halloween stuff out and about, but
I was
Christmas
thinking
holiday?
of doing pumpkin spice on this today, and we said that was too early, but then we get this.
Yeah, a peppermint mocha in August, crazy.
That's wild.
Ben, but you were saying you saw Halloween and you actually purchased stuff, so you're adding to the mayhem.
I add to the mayhem. I do the little Halloween villages, like the Christmas village. I started that a few years ago, so you gotta buy that before all the resellers buy it. So I bought it's not set up, but I own it.
But you're ready.
But I'm ready. Yeah. I'm locked and loaded for the minute that it hits September 1st.
Yeah.
I'm actually okay with like pumpkin spice, like you mentioned that. Like if they started that tomorrow, I would be all in because I just think it's delicious.
You want to have pumpkin spice in April? You do you. Who cares? I mean, for me.
Don't yuck on your yum.
Right, it's like apple juice.
Yeah.
Who says you can't have apple juice in the middle of the summer just because oranges want to, have
do
an
their
event?
thing?
But something like that picture kind of stressed me out because I'm like, oh, I got to get things in order, like gifts for people.
Gift shopping
and it's like, no, it's
planning all of our Christmas content. Well, we got some time still.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess though it is cheery, and if people want to set up Christmas lights and holiday decorations.
I have known people that leave their Christmas tree up all year long.
My sister listens to Christmas music all year long.
Well, why not?
Oh, good for her.
She sends me Snapchats just driving home listening to like jazz Christmas.
Is she really happy? Just
she loves it.
See, then good for her. Maybe I should do that. Yeah. Okay. Spark some joy.
Yeah, there you go.
What doesn't spark joy for me is flying and turbulence in particular, you guys. I am a nervous flyer.
I am too.
And this concerns me because some new, data has been out that I guess we're experiencing more turbulence than ever before right now. There's been a lot of incidents recently, yes, with just severe turbulence, people getting injured. Wow. What do we think, Joseph? You said you're also nervous flyer.
I am also nervous flyer. I always have my seatbelt on if I'm seated. I see a lot of people seated who don't wear their seatbelt. I'm like, you should have it on. They have them for a reason.
Same.
Honestly, when I'm walking down the aisle of a plane, I put my hand on the overhead bins because if it does go up, I've got something that will protect me from crashing into the ceiling. So I think about this.
Well, and there's a reason the flight attendants do that.
Yeah.
They're trained to endure turbulence when they're walking up and down the aisle. So if their hands are up there, why would that not be the safest way to do it?
Yeah.
You travel a lot, I feel like, for just content, work, life.
You've been traveling.
I've been traveling.
Have you noticed this recently?
I have, yeah. So basically, I was just on a flight back on, what's today, Monday, last Friday from New York. And in the back of the plane, the flight attendant said, we need everyone from row 20 back fully seated. The turbulence is horrible back here.
Oh.
I was near the front, not in the front, but like
I'm like, first class?
no,
Okay,
I was
man.
row like 15, so I just missed it. So I was like, oh, I didn't even notice that there was turbulence. But the further back you get, apparently it's getting worse.
I've never heard of that.
I haven't either.
And so they're saying like now there's a difference even within the plane itself on how much turbulence you're going to experience.
Wow.
Well, you saw that one flight where the one person survived, and then that
Yeah.
sparked a bunch of people wanting that window seat. Like, I think it was like,
Yeah.
I forget.
Well, that is just like new fear unlocked for me now.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
Like,
don't
I
sit
didn't
in the
even
back of the
think that could be
plane.
a.
I'm not flying if I'm row 20 or behind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I always look to the pilots. Like, I love
Right.
the energy of a pilot that gets on and explains, hey, there is going to be some turbulence.
Communication.
You know, the communication is key. The nice level chat.
always-
Looking at all the flight attendants,
Yep, I
their
always look at the flight
demeanors.
attendants, and I've never seen, and I fly quite a bit too. I've never seen a flight attendant who like looks freaked out. So that always makes me feel better.
Right.
Now, if I did see that, then I might have a moment. But
The reason I'm the way that I am flying is I did have one flight
Bad,
like that,
yeah.
and it was a small plane going back to school in Montana, and the flight attendant was freaking out, and she
Oh.
was screaming at
Yeah.
us to sit down and take it seriously.
Right.
People
well,
were puking.
That's her job, is to
Right.
scream. I mean,
right.
literally. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that was just like a new fear unlocked,
Oh,
and it's
as it
just
should
never
be.
quite gone
Right.
away.
Well, you know.
But hopefully, it will get better.
Yeah.
What also is booming right now, AI. Are we using it?
Yes.
It makes our jobs easier, at
Yes.
least for us a lot of time.
It
How
does.
do you use it, Joseph?
Well, recently I've been using it to like tell AI I have all these things in my fridge. What should I make for dinner?
Oh.
Which I have enough cooking knowledge. I don't need to use AI. I could come up with something on my own. But it's interesting to see what it says, and everything I've made so far has turned out pretty tasty.
Oh, what
Yeah.
about you, Ben?
I use it mainly as my search engine nowadays. I've realized that Google or Bing or Yahoo, whatever you want to use, is not actually giving me the results that I was looking for. It's now just bringing up conversations about the results that I'm looking for. So I went to a bar the other day and I was like, I see the difference between a Chenin Blanc and a Sauv Blanc. I'm like, I know they taste different, but what is it?
Yeah.
And I asked ChatGPT, I said, can you just tell me what the taste difference is between these two? Succinct 3 bullets. It would have taken me, 10, 15 minutes
Yeah.
to try to comb through all the essays
Google
and
stuff, yeah.
articles, and it's faster.
Yeah, I mean, bada bing, bada boom. If it makes our lives easier,
Mm-hmm.
and one of my friends used it recently when she didn't want to ghost someone back to the singles chat. She didn't want to ghost someone,
Mm-hmm. Sure.
so she was trying to figure out how to let this person down easy
Oh my
with
gosh.
his response, wanting a second date, and ChatGPT helped her, and
Do I know
kind of
this friend?
perfect. You do know this
I love
friend.
that person.
Should I say her?
No,
no, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
You guys, thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
Happy Monday, and thank you to you all for spending time with us today. You can check our website for more of our content, and you can always send us an email to share your thoughts. Don't forget to enjoy your new day, and we'll see you next time.